Hello. Today's video is another set of pencils. These are the Faber-Castell 12 set of Castell 9000 design set, made in Germany. There are 12 different grades of graphite in this one, from a, if you can see that, from a 5B all the way to a 5H. Alright, these came pre-sharpened. Some of them don't come sharpened in some of these sets. So, yeah. The first paper is the Bristol Smooth that I have. Alright, let's start with, it's going to be the 5B. Yeah, 5B. So that's here. Then it's 4. The average person, I think, would only need 12 grades, but depends on your application, preference, things of that nature. So B, yeah. The ones that I did sharpen, I sharpened with a crank pencil sharpener, HB. You know, you stick in the pencil and then you crank it type sharpener. When I'm going to be selling these sets on eBay, I will include those little hand sharpener things. We basically turn it by hand, or turn the pencil or the little sharpener by hand. It'll come with 2 sharpeners, a regular short one, and one that's gives you a longer sharpen thing. I'll try to show it in a picture on eBay so you can see the difference between the 2 sharpeners, if I can remember to do so. And it will include several erasers. I got some Staedtler erasers, some Faber-Castell erasers. I got some mono from Tombow, however you say it. Got some other ones, and I will try to match the brands, like the Faber with Faber and mono with mono and so on. I won't include more than probably 5 with the larger set, and probably I'll probably include 6 with the larger sets, and these 12 sets. I will include probably 4 erasers. Yeah. Hopefully I did those right. 4, 3, 2, this is 5. Probably should have checked that before I started doing it. Alright. Get the number on there. Try to get the, so it doesn't reflect so badly. Yeah, there we go. Get them all in there. So as you can see, fairly consistent in some cases. Right. On to the next paper. This is the printer copier paper, as you can see from the top. Alright, get started. This is 5. But yeah, I won't put them up for sale until the last video is done. I'm just going to do 4 videos for the 4 products. I'm not going to do like a final. There's only 4 different ones that I got for this test review type thing. On the last video, I'll comment on which ones, for whatever reason, are better on certain papers. But it's more about the visual than the feel for some people. I mean, you're selling the finished product, you're not selling how the graphite felt on the paper. But the smoother the paper, the less graphite goes on. Well, not less, but smoother. And the rougher the paper, the more graphite comes off, or goes on, rather. And it can get kind of dusty, so you'll have to have some kind of way of getting the dust off. Whether it be shaking it off, or blowing it off, or there are a number of techniques. I wouldn't use a brush because it'll smear, I think. So HB. I did that earlier when I was emptying the sharpener of all the sharpening I had done of these graphites, and some of the dust had gotten onto this surface, and not thinking about it, I wiped it with my hand, and it smeared some of the graphite, of course, because there's graphite in the sharpening, obviously. Is this F? Yeah, it's F. This seems lighter than, maybe it's lighter than these. These look almost the same, but there are gradations. This one, I would say slight variation. These are a little harder. These are softer, I think. The Una, its gradation is very gradual. On these, I'll talk about that at the ZF. Yeah. Now it's H. Yeah. H. But I'll talk about that on the last video, the Tombow. No reason to talk about it now until I'm done with all of them. That's weird. Seems darker. Maybe it's the sharper tip. I don't think that should. I don't know. It's 2, yeah. You'll see when I bring the paper up for you to see. Or hopefully you'll see what I'm talking about in this particular paper, at least. But yeah, I'll be talking more about it on the last video. It's only 4 videos of the 4 products. these are harder than I would imagine, but supposedly these are the best on the market. But it's a personal preference like anything else that is supposedly the best on the market. I mean, if you're just using a pen to write, it also depends on the paper you're using. Alright, let me bring this up so you can see better. Try to get it at a proper angle. Not sure what angle is best. But you can see that, yeah, you can see there that the difference between the H, B, and the F is really high. But the difference between HB and H is, there's less difference. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I have I don't know, I'm weird. Alright, next paper is the vellum. Here's the vellum. Alright, bring it up a little. There we go. Okay, this is the 5. Yep. 5. B. HB. F. H. I'm trying to be as consistent as I can with the pressure I'm putting on them. Pencil to paper. But knowing that some of them are harder and some are softer than others, it's kind of hard not to vary my pressure. I guess a more scientific way would be for them to be used on a machine that the pressure can be as consistent as possible. But of course, machines aren't the ones doing these graphite drawings, are they? This is the 5H. Alright, that's that one. Try to get it in picture. Try to angle it so you don't get the graphite reflection that's common. Try to vary the angle, so not sure which angle is the best for the camera. So I'm just going to slowly angle it hoping that you can see the angle you want. Alright, next paper. It's going to be a sketchbook. This one is the Soho. Been using it for several. Is it in picture? Yeah. Is that the last one? Yeah, that's the last one. Okay. B5. This paper is rougher, so more graphite will come off. It's not as smooth. The smoothness of the paper, the roughness of the paper can be very different. You have to take that into account when you're using pressure from going from one paper product to another. Quality of the paper makes a difference. Color of the paper can make a difference also. Since this paper is kind of yellow compared to the other papers I was using, I think. But for its purpose it serves well. It's only a sketchbook. It's not many people would use a sketchbook for their final piece, but you would see how your technique is. But of course, your technique would have to change from paper product to paper product. So the technique you use on rough paper cannot and will not be the same technique you would use on a smoother paper. So your experience will vary from paper product to paper product, just like the hardness and softness of these graphite pencils will vary from grade to grade. H's being harder, B's being softer. Not sure where the B and H came from, the terminology I mean, but I guess someone had to come up with something. I'll have to look that up. I'm curious as to where that came from and how long it's been around. A couple of 100 years? Well, at least. Graphite's been around for ever. And when they decided, when they were able to be consistent with their different grades of pencil lead, someone had to come up with a grading term. I'm sure there was like a society or consortium of pencil makers that got together and it's like, this is this and that's that. Let's decide on this. It's just the H is for hardness, the B is for the softness. But internationally speaking, it doesn't seem to be that way. But then, of course, if everything was the same, there'd be no reason for a difference. There would be no reason for multiple brands of pencils. That's that one. Okay, I'm going to bring it up. Oh, bring it down a little bit. Angle it some so you can see the different grades of these pencils. Trying to get the reflection that you want. I'm going to go a little slower on this back around so you can see the difference. All right. is that on these Faber-Castell 9000. And we'll see you on the next video. Thank you.